Hey guys, a little bit of a non-sequential animal today. Kind of like a little filler animal for the zoo. African elephants. But I know I know a lot of you have been looking forward to seeing what we're doing with the elephants, and I figured out what I wanted to do with them. There was a couple times, actually, a couple areas that I kept having to say, we got to wait for Indian elephants for this. Like, it's really tempting with elephants to want to plop down, particularly for me, waterfalls everywhere. And we got to remember, these are like, typically these are going to be more, these are African elephants we're talking about. So we're talking about more like flat, wide open spaces, not really necessarily conducive of, giant waterfalls everywhere. Whereas I think with the Indian elephants, more, rainforest jungle, I think we have a little more leadway as far as, just more foliage, more water features, waterfalls, mists, rivers, stuff like that. I just think that was interesting on this, is to kind of have to, essentially hold myself back a little bit and be like, okay, this has to be a little more plain, essentially. I have to rein this in a little bit for the African elephants, but still I even started coming up with I was thinking of some, you'll see right here, like a glass dome, like a half glass dome type idea. Didn't really, I don't think it was, it just wasn't for this particular park, I think, this zoo, just because nothing else has this. And when you get over here into the middle of the African area, and then these glass domes are put in, you're kind of like, okay, well, that doesn't go with anything here. And so you have to excuse me, I got my drink with me today because I'm still kind of on the tail end of this stinking cold. I'm getting a little better, though. It's like I said yesterday, I sound worse than I feel. So hopefully I'm at the tail end of this now. See, what you see right here with the terrain kind of going over the path, I think that is going to be an Indian elephant idea, because it was essentially, I was going to have a waterfall going over the path down into the elephant's pond here. So you, like the guest, would essentially, there would be parts of the waterfall that you would walk behind, essentially. And I've come up with a really cool design here, just kind of looking at it in different places, of almost like a tree of life type of design with these big trees. And but in the end, ended up you really reining it back, and trying to give these elephants as much space as possible, but still, have some of the rock work set up. And we ended up not going with a water feature at all, besides their little their smaller little waterfall enrichment item. And this, you see, I made there also one of their shelter caves out of the wolf's den facade. So that thing has been featured in almost every exhibit in this zoo. And I made that back in the beta. So that was really interesting, how versatile that piece is. And, not just having to incorporate it with glass or just a regular enclosure, but actually using it as a shelter for the elephants. This is kind of like the little backstage area that's going to be hid for them, like when they bring them in at night and stuff, and kind of bed them down. And, all of it's kind of connected back there, or it's implied that it's connected. I also have another little tunnel over there. I figured that could be like the VIP experience. They can go through the back of that tunnel, and I figured there could be like glass set up back there that they could actually look down into the elephants. Their excuse me, their nighttime exhibit on. So that's kind of like the little why the path kind of dead ends back there. It's another little area that's implied. Once you go back there, you can look down on to the elephants, and so that's kind of what we rolled with on that. And yeah, I've got these big giant logs like girders, kind of keeping them back. And I thought that worked out really, really well. Really gives it that, because you wouldn't want to I didn't want to make it totally natural where it wasn't believable. Like, okay, what would stop those elephants from, coming across those plants and, charging right off into the path. So I figured with these little bit of barriers up, that would actually, kind of keep them out of there, coax them away, and but still let people get a pretty good view of kind of what's going on. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead. I don't know how much more of this my voice can actually take. We'll go ahead and jump into the real time, and not only will I show you the elephants and the finished elephant exhibit, but also I did something else that you guys have talked about for a while, and that is open the plains up to the zebras, where they and the antelopes, the buffaloes, the giraffes, all of that kind of like share a big enclosure now, essentially. And that was done with a trench going underneath the, excuse me, going underneath the monorail. So yeah, they are all in one big area now. So let's jump into the real time, and I'll go ahead and show you kind of what all that looks like now, and you can kind of give me your feedback on how you think the whole area has shaped up now. So hold on one second, we'll take a look around. All right, guys, well, here it is. I thought this just turned out so stinking cool. And heads up, if you do not have elephants in your zoo yet, they poop a lot. She's been playing around in the mud. Here's my big boy over here, named him after one of you guys, one of my subscribers. So this is Paul. If you want to be named after one of my animals here, just don't forget to comment down below and tell me what animal you want to be named after, and we will get in here and I will pick one and get you named, even if I have to put an animal in. So don't forget to let me know down below. And their whole little exhibit here, I think, just come out so stinking cool. Particularly what makes it, I think, are these giant log kind of barriers here. And look, even if you were standing right here, look how good a view you would get here of them. Like this is people view here. That is awesome. Exactly kind of like how I was envisioning. So remember, you kind of you make your way in to their whole little area, kind of up this ramp. And then, of course, we've got our lions off to the left. But then when you make your way up, then you can kind of come right here and see them, go past the shops, see them from right here. And, of course, we got a giraffe messing around over here. You can see them from this path as well. But I still think your best bet, and then over here as well, where the little keeper area is, you can see them from up on this elevated path. I still think your best bet, though, is to come out right here. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to say, man, you probably should have took that out a little farther so more people could see. But I just think it's a little less intrusive this way, kind of, and it just brings more attention to the actual exhibit than just like having the paths kind of shoot out over into this, because we kind of already did that with the giraffes over in the plains area. And I think with it being a little more subdued like this, having these two kind of vantage points, I think that works out a little better. If I do anything, I could bring a piece of path from over there and bring it right here and connect it so people could stand all along this. We'll try it in real time here. Let's just see if we can make something like that kind of work. And then, of course, we'll have the railings up. Let's see. I have to move those rocks back a little. Maybe can do something like that. And then, of course, I'll bring the barriers along here as well. And then that leaves a pretty good bit of standing room to actually sit here and watch them, so people aren't kind of all cluttered right here and you got to wait for people to get out of the way. Maybe we might go ahead and try that as well. Over here is, like I said, their little kind of like their little makeshift shelter area, little den over there. And then, excuse me, back over there is where I said you can kind of go in and see behind the scenes, backstage type of stuff. So really, really fun build on this, guys. I've had a blast trying to design this. And when that thought kicked in from like a Zoo Knoxville type of vibe to have the big barriers up like that, I knew that is something we definitely wanted to try. Look how massive Paul is compared to these females. Let's see what his genetics. I just bought him real quick. Okay, size 91%. So yeah, that is a big boy. But anyways, let's move on to this next thing I was talking about. Check this out. Now, the zebras and everything share one massive pen. And if we can click on them here, let's go to our heat map. And then habitat. Click on one of the drafts. So see, they can make their way all the way over here now. It just so happens I think they're all over here eating right now because they were all over on the other side earlier when I was kind of messing around. But when the food comes, they all kind of make their way back over here. May put one of their food things kind of over here as well so they don't have to go all the way back over there. But yeah, so what we were talking about and envisioning that whole time now is a reality. So the animals can actually safely make their way underneath the monorails now and not hit their heads. There's one of our little sable antelopes right there. These trees right here, these baobab trees, they look so good kind of elevated up in the air like that, like particularly when they're elevated with rock work. That really gives off some like really cool tree of life vibes, I think. So much so, I even put two of them side by side. I spruced up the hyena exhibit. See how it looks a little better now? Kind of went back and gave it some love, added some more foliage, and added these two baboa trees. Kind of like these matching, one's a little higher. I just think that looks killer right there. Kind of kind of towering over the hyena den now. So went in, like I said, just put in a couple plants, put in some more logs, and really, really, I think spruced up their exhibit. And the last place I put them is even, excuse me again. Last place I put them was look how cool it looks. They're kind of towering over the market area here. So that will kind of like be the backside, kind of like leading over towards the, the jungle side, the East Asian side. And I just think that come out really, really cool. I don't know if I ever showed you guys this before, but if you're looking back this way, that is the Western Lowland Gorilla exhibit. So that's why this glass is right there like that. And when you're kind of coming around the corner here as well, look how cool that looks. Those two massive trees kind of towering over the little village. I just think that is killer. Little monorail coming by. Really, really cool. But yeah, started doing some terraforming over here with the what's going to be in the East Asian area. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Like maybe even you guys were talking about doing like a train through the East Asian area. I may do like an elevated station up here somewhere, like continue these mountains. And I also want to do like a Mike Sheets kind of pond shrimp. A Mike Sheets pond shrimp kind of rope course over here as well. That is something that ever since I saw what her and him did that's really kind of piqued my interest to kind of trying to get that started as well, and do some kind of little rope bridge, maybe stacked hanging steps, and have them kind of go up and over the railroad track. But I think that would look really cool to have like a the railroad essentially. Wouldn't it be cool if I had the track like going along the side of the mountain, like the ridge, and I have to like try to support it with wooden pieces and, you know, rock work and all that? I think that is going to be killer. That's kind of one of the ideas that's been swirling around in my head to get us a train, excuse me, going in the East Asian area, kind of like meandering through the jungle and all that. So we'll just kind of have to see what I can make happen with that. And hopefully by tomorrow's video, my voice will be back a little bit better, and hopefully they will get in here and clean up some of this poo, and hopefully you guys come back and join me again for another episode. I think I don't know if we'll finish the African area starting the next episode, or just for my creative, just for creative freedom, maybe jump over and start that train area, because I think that would be cool too. Because we still got to do the cheetahs, the chimpanzees. There's just a lot of stuff that we still kind of need to, make happen, want to make happen, and I think we will make it happen. So anyways, guys, I'm S. Stan Wolf. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. Don't forget to drop a comment down below on what you think about the whole elephant area and kind of what we've done. You get a good shot of Paul right here, right now. He get in the mud. Yep, he's a little dirty. But anyways, guys, I'm S. Stan Wolf. Thank you for stopping by and checking out this video for me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you. See you.